In the last episode, we considered a biblical worldview response to the oft-heard challenge, what about abortion in the case of rape and incest? Now, often added to that is a third condition, the life of the mother. A response to that is fundamentally different than answering the faulty special pleading of allowing abortion in the case of incest or rape. Linking the life of the mother to rape and incest as a justification for abortion is like saying that war is allowed for imperialism, greed, and defending against an invader. Obviously not. War in pursuit of imperialism and greed is morally wrong, while war to repel an invader is not only justified, it's the duty of civil government, as we made clear in episode 3 on the sanctity of life. I wanted to make this a separate episode because answering this challenge raises an important and oft-neglected issue that Christians seeking to live by a consistent biblical worldview have to deal with. It's an eminently real-world conundrum, an ethical puzzle that we don't face often, but when we do, can present a major difficulty in knowing how to move forward. I hope that what we look at here can help steer you when you are faced with a similar choice in the future. Terminating a pregnancy when expert medical care says that it's necessary to save the life of the mother is morally permissible. An ectopic pregnancy is a classic example of when an abortion may be required, and here's why. If the mother dies, the child is going to die as well. If the pregnancy is terminated, the survival of the mother is ensured or at least greatly increased. This is a classic case of having to choose between the lesser of two evils, an ethical reality tied to our living in a fallen world. Thankfully, infrequently, we may find ourselves in a situation where none of the options before us in themselves is morally nor ethically advised. But when compared, one of them carries more ethical weight. It attaches to a stronger moral imperative. Here's an example of the kind of thing that we're talking about. Would you lie to save a life? Let me suggest a scenario. It's Nazi Germany and the Gestapo is going door to door looking for Jews. You know what happens to Jews apprehended by them and have been sheltering a Jewish family of 4 in a secret room in your basement. The Nazi officer at your door asks if you are harboring any Jews or know of any neighbors who are. So what do you say? Now, we all know that lying is always morally wrong. But you have every confidence that if you admit that there's a family in your basement, they're going to die. So you shake your head in denial and you close the door. Because protecting the lives of 4 human beings is a higher moral imperative than honesty in this case. We have a biblical example of this in the first chapter of Exodus, where the Jewish midwives lied to Pharaoh about the timing of their arrival at the homes of Jewish births. Though they deceived the ruler of Egypt, God rewarded them, not because they lied, but for refusing to comply with a kind of post-birth abortion. What we need to guard against is broadening out the moral ground underlying these ethically challenging choices when we're forced to choose in the lesser of two evils. Take abortion in the case of the life of the mother as an example. There needs to be a case-specific, informed, expert medical assessment that the life of the mother is indeed in jeopardy if the pregnancy goes forward. But the exception of the life of the mother can't be broadened out to a life plan, as in her future education and career may be altered by having a child. It turns out that the vast majority of abortions are elective, meaning they're a form of post-conception birth control. While statistic gathering organizations give slightly differing figures, elective abortions are about 98% of all abortions. Abortions due to rape and incest account for another 1%, while abortions to save the life of the mother come at another 1%. So the argument propelled by pro-abortion advocates that abortion must be kept legal for any and all reasons because of the special pleading of rape, incest, and the life of the mother is disingenuous. As we close this episode, if you would please like, subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notifications when new videos drop here at Into His Image, and also if you would please spread the word.